Pisces. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early March 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So we're going to get right down to work, right down to business with an oracle card just to start us off nice and smooth, take a little temperature of the energy, and see what's going on for my friends. So let's shuffle it up one time, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Pisces in their season? Let's go. And yeah, we're just going to get this first card out of the way real quick. Then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card with the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what type of shadows might be around you or what shadow work you might want to lean into. Okay, so as always, there's a lot to consider. Only take what hits for you. But let's get this card going. What do we have for Pisces? And I would also like to say, Pisces, I wish you all a very happy birthday. At the time of this filming, it is Pisces season, one of the most beautiful times of the year. So I hope you have a great birthday. Okay, so time could be playing some sort of a factor here. And before we fully get into this, I want to say another shout out to Pisces. Like last week was one of my best Pisces videos views wise, so thank you so much for showing me love and supporting. But yeah, before we get into this card, if you're new, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you're active on Twitter, my handle's at kyleofcups. Please feel free to tweet me things. Into the reading though, we got all this stuff out of the way. You see this lovely lady here, there's that big golden clock hanging above her head. So we always think of time when we see things like an hourglass, when we see things like a clock. Yes, there's other themes here. She's standing next to a bird and there's a letter, so communication could be super important in this time. But we think of the elapsing hand of time, whether you've been waiting on something, whether you feel like you're running out of time, whether it's like tick, 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 like the days just fly by super, super fast. Like, where does all the time go? For some of you, you might feel like you have all the time in the world, but time could be playing a very important factor in something here. Okay, so you just apply it to your story as needed. We're going to see if we get more of that throughout the whole entire reading. But let's get into tarot now. I'm going to get you 3 in the upright, and we'll intuitively clarify. So let's shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Pisces collective. Let's see what's going on. Now, the last 2 weeks, I want to mention this. The word serious has been in both of the titles last week. Like last week's was a serious warning. The week before that was a serious issue. The week before that was an emotional message. So we're going to hope for some lighter, more positive energy this week. Hopefully you haven't been going through rough situations. But let's see what we have. You know, energy is very fluid. It's always moving and changing. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles. So the communication that I was speaking about is showing up front and center. And that's another theme with water signs this week as well. They've been getting a lot of pages. What do we got? Wow. Ace of Pentacles. So we got double Pentacles here, Pisces. This is looking pretty good. This is a lot different than last week. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because we still have to clarify. But this is better. Okay, we have the Hierophant in position number 3. So I want to say this before we start breaking all this down. All of this energy is earth energy. So you could have a huge focus on work, the material world, the home, your money. Those things could be taking up a lion's share of your mind and your focus. But let's go through real quick. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get the juicier stuff. Position number 1, the Page of Pentacles. Out of all the pages, this one is the biggest messenger of them all, even though all pages are messengers. This one is also very studious, so learning new skills, new ventures, new cycles, especially since we have the Ace of Pentacles right next to it, could be super important in this time. If you're not learning new skills or going on new ventures, Spirit could be asking you to do so. But this literally could be a conversation of some sort, so we'll have to see what clarifies it. That'll really tell the tale. But moving to the center, we have the Ace of Pentacles, a possible golden opportunity. Out of all the aces, this is my favorite one. This could be indicative of a nice influx of money coming your way. So you might make a nice little deposit into your bank account. There could be some sort of good change or something that just falls into your lap real nice. Golden opportunity. I mean, there's not much else to say about this. It's really good. Now, of course, we could expand a little more, but I'm trying to keep the video nice and concise for you, my friends. We'll see what that's about when we clarify. On the back end, we have the Hierophant. This is one of the more dense tarot cards in the whole entire deck. It could mean so many different things. Now, yes, this is the card that represents Taurus. Generally, this is a grounded type of energy, like standing still, grounded, firm. This represents power structures, corporations, governments, churches. So I don't know if that's in your mind space for whatever reason. The Hierophant is within the box. It's business as usual. It's the day-to-day life. Okay, it could also represent spirituality, marriages, long-standing relationships. You see what I mean? There's so many different things with the Hierophant. So we'll see what it's about. But like I said, all this earthy type of energy, as long as we don't have a lot of action underneath clarifying it, because if there's a lot of action cards, that could be upheavals. We'll just see. Let's dive deeper on all this. We're going to jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle in here for the lovely Pisces collective. See what's going on for my friends, please. And yes, Pisces, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research, rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. We're going to go in on this Page of Pentacles. And also, if you read cards, I say it every week, please feel free to play along. That's why this box is here. If there's any messages that you're feeling or that you want to share with your collective, you just drop it down in the comments. I don't mind whatsoever. It might help somebody out, and I mean, honestly, we all learn from each other. So let's see what's up with this page. Why is this Page of Pentacles here? What's up with all this earthy energy? Okay, thank you. Okay, we have another page here. We have the Page of Swords in the upright. So if there are any type of conversations, and I don't feel like this is explosive as if it were fire and air, but I feel like two people on two completely different sides of a situation, like voicing those opinions back and forth. So beware that in this time you might run into some sort of opposition. You might run into a little bit of conflict. And I don't feel like this is anything treacherous. This feels kind of like a debate of some kind, like with the Page of Pentacles and we have the Page of Swords. These are people that see things completely opposite. So this person saying like, no, this is right. No, and the person over there saying, no, that's wrong. So I'm getting that back and forth debate type of feeling here with the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. One is much more open and flowing. The other one is much more constricted and defensive. Yeah, it could just be a prominent air sign, but I would watch out for that. This could be some sort of like fiery back and forth conversation. And I don't want to use the word serious again for the third week in a row, but like this, it could be fiery. I'll just say that, but not explosive. We're going to keep it moving, but just beware that you might fall into some debates. You might fall into some conflict in this time. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be treacherous or anything like that. This feels a little more like difference of opinion and difference of seeing things overall. Let's go in on this Ace of Pentacles. Let's see what this Ace of Pentacles is about for Pisces, please. And that is air energy, so the air underneath the earth, yeah, it's a little volatile. It's not really terrible. Okay, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. This is absolutely beautiful. This could be something that just like falls into your lap surprisingly. I love that. The Nine of Wands is usually a card called the Wounded Warrior, somebody who's very defensive, putting walls up, putting blocks up. So there could be something that just like falls into your lap, like plop, boom, out of nowhere. There could be some sort of good news. Like I said, the good influx of money possible. I really like the Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Wands in reverse. That feels so good to me. And like I said, that's surprising, that unexpected. For some people, it could even be a gift. And yes, it is your season. It is your birthday season, but you might receive a gift that you aren't expecting as well. So this might be a surprising or an unexpected gift or opportunity. There's a lot of possibilities here. But when I see the Ace of Pentacles with that Nine of Wands in reverse, I'm not seeing a lot of roadblocks here. Okay. So it's interesting that in the beginning, we have possible debates, possible back and forths, but in this center, it feels very good. We're going to go in on the Hierophant. And you just apply it to your story as needed. I know there's people that are cross-watching. There's different Pisces going through different things. But let's see what's up with the Hierophant. Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow card. Say overall, the feeling is okay. It's definitely different. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords. That's different. That is definitely different. So the Queen of Swords, once again, that air sign energy, and she is very honest. She is very shrewd. That little back and forth that I was catching in the beginning, I feel like that could, this could be a little warning here for sure. But this, like, if you don't nip something in the bud, it might like evolve and mature, if that makes sense. That's how it feels. Because if you look in the box, in the beginning, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Page of Swords. Then on the back end, it grows into the Hierophant versus the Queen of Swords. She's very shrewd. She's very honest. She could be a little bit cold. And I always say she speaks about matters that are of great importance or seriousness, once again, but her against the Hierophant, I feel a clashing of heads, a clashing of minds. Now, for some of you, you could just be linked very closely to an air sign. It could just be as simple as that, the importance of this person in your life and of your journey right now. But for some of you, I'm catching that possible headbutt, that possible conflict. Okay, so beware of that. It is a little warning about conflict, especially the verbal altercation kind, especially with it showing up twice here. That's how it feels to me intuitively. Now, of course, it could mean other things. You know, all these cards are super deep in their symbolism. But overall, aside from that, aside from the possible issues and conflict that are showing up here, in the center is very good. But let's go through and do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. In position number 1, we have that Page of Pentacles with the Page of Swords in the upright. Already spoke about it several times, differing opinions, conversations back and forth, back and forth. You might just butt heads with somebody and it's all good. It happens. In the center, we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Wands in reverse. And that's the best part of this spread to me, that an opportunity might come along and you might not have to fight for it. This could be a surprising or an unexpected gift of some sort, or just something really good, whether an influx of money or otherwise. Maybe it's even news you've been waiting to hear back from. But on the very back end, we have the Hierophant with the Queen of Swords, the evolution of the energy that we were catching right here in the front. So if a problem is not resolved up here in the front, if you are butting heads with somebody, it can mature. Okay, so beware of that. There's possible conflict here, but overall, I'd say the energy is much more positive than it's been in recent weeks, especially with this center, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Wands in reverse. So please take a screenshot of that, Pisces. We're going to get into the shadow card super quick, just to cap this reading off. So what do we got here for the Pisces Collective, my guides? What's going on for my friends? And yeah, even if the card that pops out here is positive, we're going to take a look at the rougher side of it, because that's what we want to do when we do shadow work. But we're just going to get one card here, whether it's something you've been holding on to for a long time or something that pops up. Shadows for Pisces. 10 of Swords. Yeah, it makes sense. Now this card, this 10 of Swords, has been running absolutely rampant over the past couple of weeks in the shadows and various people's spreads. So it is something to take note of. And it doesn't surprise me that it shows up in the shadows. You might have even had it in the shadows in recent weeks as well. What do we think of with the 10 of Swords? Endings, rough and tough ones, whether it's something that's already happened and you're holding on to, whether it's a fear of a bad ending or a rough ending. But when I see this 10 of Swords, like this is one of the rougher cards in the whole entire tarot deck. So if it is something you have been holding on to, whether it is feelings of betrayal, feelings of pain and hurt, you might really need to work through it in this time. This could be Spirit asking you like, hey, you can make a little progress if you work towards clearing this energy up. Okay, aside from that, this card can represent like little mishaps, little accidents. Just beware. Keep your head on a swivel in this time when we see this on the back end in the shadows. So Pisces, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the February subscriber surprise, the winners will be posted in the community tab March 1st. But for the March subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Gilded Tarot Royale. It's one of my favorite decks. So if you'd like to get your name for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments what zodiac sign vibes best with you. It has to be a different one than your own, though. So drop that in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And that's it. At the end of March, going into April, I'll announce the winners. As always, my friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.